In this section, we'll look at hooking up and linking the controllers to the foot setup. To not confuse myself, let's hide the right hand side. Let's Control H on the controllers, and also let's kind of hide away the foot skeleton as well. Okay, so first things first, for us to kind of take note, okay, if you were to kind of raise the ball of the foot, okay, it's just like the Ferris wheel example that we have done before. So when the center kind of rotates, what happens to the child? The child kind of move in position, okay, like a Ferris wheel, right? Okay, so when this happens, when you raise the ball of the foot, okay, if you are in IK mode, the IK handle is left behind. Okay, if the IK handle is left behind, then you can see the leg and the ankle is kind of disjointed. Okay, the IK handle must always be able to follow in position, so that when you raise the ball of the foot, the leg will kind of bend forward, right? Makes sense. Now, so in this instance, the IK handle is going to follow the ball foot end. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to select the ball foot end first. Now if you're afraid to kind of select from the overpopulated area here, okay, you can always go to your outliner, select the ball foot end, followed by the IK handle. Okay, I'm going to select from here, press shift, select IK handle, so L leg IKH, and I'm just going to click on constraint. Remember, it's going to follow in position, so position is point constraint, and I'm going to make sure that maintain offset is turned off, okay, so that the IK handle is always in the same position as the ankle. Okay, so turn off and add. So what does that do for us? So when you raise the ball of the foot, there you go, okay, IK handle up and the leg is bent, right? So in terms of IK, it works well. I'm going to hide away this particular leg joint, Control H. Okay, so let me bring up the thigh IK. Okay, so just to repeat, okay, so when you lift up, you can see the thigh IK follows as well. Okay, let's hide it away. Now I'm going to bring the thigh FK. Okay, so L thigh FK, bring this up. How about this? So when this, okay, when you raise the ball of the foot, again you have that problem. Okay, again I didn't hide the IK, so you can kind of see the IK kind of follow, right? Okay, but look at the FK ankle. Okay, the FK ankle is still here. Okay, so again there's a disjointed ankle, right? So that means for FK as well, we need it to follow. But what does the IK have that the FK doesn't have? The IK have the IK handle. Okay, so the IK handle can just be constrained to follow the ball foot end. For the FK, we have to select the joint itself, okay, which is the ankle. Okay, let's bring it up. Okay, the ankle FK joint. Okay, the ankle FK joint has to follow the ball foot end. So I'm going to select the ball foot end. Okay, this is the master. Okay, so select ball foot end first, followed by ankle FK joint. Okay, so I'm going to use outliner, so I'm going to press Control, ankle FK joint, and I'm going to use constraint. And remember, it's going to follow again in terms of position. So point constraint, maintain offset turn off, click add. Right, so now if you were to raise the ball of the foot, you can kind of see, okay, in terms of the FK joints, okay, the leg and the foot is still kind of connected. Okay, at the moment now, this example, yes, you can kind of see, oh, you have a broken knee. Right, later on at the end of the video, you can kind of see it will all gel together nicely. Okay, so at least for this purpose, right, so now if I raise the ball of the foot, okay, my FK ankle is kind of following. Right, okay, so that out of the way. So in terms of connection, everything is good. Let's hide away this thigh FK. Okay, I'm going to bring back the normal thigh. Okay, so L thigh joint. Okay, so for us to kind of see. Okay, so for the connection wise, right, Now later on, I'm going to put attributes for all these particular joints here that we have, even for the heel. Okay, the heel is supposed to be able to do the heel roll, right? So I do not want to constrain the heel joint directly because I do not want to disturb the rotation values. So what I'll do is I will actually click on, in this instance, what's the highest in the hierarchy? The L bang out. Okay, so the L bang out joint, select this particular joint. I'm going to press Ctrl G. Okay, Ctrl G. What does Ctrl G do? Okay, actually create a group for us. Okay, and inside the group you have the whole hierarchy of the foot joints. Okay, now so this group I'm going to rename it. Let's call it L underscore foot underscore GRP for group. Okay, capital GRP. Right, now where's the pivot point? When you do groupings, it's at the center of the grid. You're going to have to move the pivot point to the ankle as well. Okay, so press D and press V at the same time. Click on the yellow ring. Let's drag it up here. Okay, where everything is happening around the ankle. Right, so the L foot group pivot point is here. Okay, so now what's going to happen is, okay, if I were to move this foot group, you can kind of see the whole foot kind of move. Okay, so this group itself is going to be following either the FK or the IK controller. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, I'm going to make the L foot group a slave, and the masters, we're going to have two masters. Okay, the FK foot control and the IK foot control. Okay, now before I do that, okay, I'm going to ensure that this foot FK controller, I'm going to parent it to the knee controller. Okay, so select foot FK controller followed by the knee controller. Okay, press P. Okay, so when I bend my knee, for example, backwards, okay, you can kind of see the ankle should be in this position here. Okay, now so let's do that connection. So let's select the FK controller first, okay, followed by the IK controller. Okay, so the last one we're going to select is the L foot group. Right, so I repeat, select the FK foot control followed by the IK foot control, and the slave is going to be our L foot group. Okay, and then we're going to click on constraint, parent constraint. Okay, now in this instance I'm going to turn off my maintain offset. Okay, so when I turn off my maintain offset, it means it's going to snap to either the IK or the FK controller, okay, when it's going to handle it. Right, so click add. At the moment nothing changes because everyone's pivot point is at the ankle. Okay, right, now so this is what's going to happen. We are going to use the same method that we have done before with the leg. Okay, we're going to use the same switch, which is the IK-FK switch. Okay, so I'm going to bring up my set driven key. Let me go to animation, key, set driven key. Right, who's the driver? The same controller that we had before, the leg FK-IK controller. Set it as the driver. Okay, we'll need to use this. Now for the driven, okay, we need to use the L foot group, but not on this particular node, because if you load it, you cannot see the power, remember. So you need to use the L foot group parent constraint node. Okay, when you load it, okay, you can see W0 and W1. What are they? Okay, basically it's FK control is W0, IK control W1. Okay, so we're going to do that switching method again. Okay, so fairly simple. So what we do is, let's select from here. Okay, when the FK-IK switch is on FK mode, okay, let's select this. Over here, okay, FK control 1, IK control 0. Okay, and then make sure you highlight both of these as well. All three highlighted, key. Now let's switch it. Okay, so FK-IK switch change from FK to IK. So now it's IK mode. Okay, so this is FK is 0 and IK is 1. And let's key it. Okay. Now, so let's have a look at this. So now if we are in IK mode, okay, if I move my IK controller, kind of see the whole foot kind of follows. Okay. Now when I switch to FK, boom, the whole foot hierarchy switch here and nothing is following this particular controller anymore. Okay, so now if I were to move my FK control, there you go, right? I can even rotate my ankle and the whole foot kind of rotate as well, okay, following the FK mode, right? If I switch it again to the IK mode, right now it's following the IK control, so you can move the IK control and you can rotate the IK control as well. How cool is that, right? Okay, let's reset this IK control back to 0. Translate 0, there you go, snap back to the original position. Now, let's go a step further. We can hide and unhide controllers based on the switch as well. Okay, this is what I like to practice. Okay, so what I'll do is, again, the driver is going to be the switch. Okay, for this instance, I'm going to go with the IK first. So I'm going to select the IK controller. I'm going to select the IK controller and load driven. Now the IK controller has this thing called the visibility, right? So let's go here. So when the switch is in IK mode, okay, your foot IK control visibility is on. Okay, on is the same as 1. Okay, so make sure switch and visibility is highlighted, key. Now, and then when I switch to FK mode, so now switch in FK mode, the visibility can be changed to off. Okay, you can type off or you can just type 0. Let's go to off the visibility and key. Okay, so this is the cool part. So when it's in IK mode, it comes on. When it's in FK mode, it disappears. Okay, so you can do the same for the rest of the controller as well. So let's say I select with the foot FK control. Let's load it. So when the switch in FK, the visibility is on, key, and when the switch is in IK mode, visibility is 0 or off. Okay, so now if you kind of see, when I switch to FK, that's the controller I'm going to use, and when I switch to IK, that's the controller I'm going to use. Okay, and I like to do it for the rest of my controller as well. The knee, okay, same thing. Let's load it. Okay, I'm going to go a bit faster now. So FK mode, visibility is on. Oops, make sure you highlight it. And IK mode, visibility off. Okay, let's go with the thigh as well. Load it in. Which mode are we now? FK. Visibility is 1. And when I switch to IK mode, okay, the thigh FK control visibility we change to 0 for off. Let's key it. Okay, shall we have a test? So FK mode, all 3 controllers appear. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and when you switch to IK mode, everybody disappears except for the IK controller. Right, so you can control, and when you switch to FK mode, that particular controller disappears and everybody else appears. Okay, so that's the beauty of it. Right, so that's how you set up your IK, FK, leg and switches. Right, in the next section we look at the attributes of the foot banking and heel roll, toe roll, and so on and so forth.